Hello, my name is Matthew, and we are on shelf 31 of my tiny house library tour. I'm not so sure how many of these books will be available, but if you're interested in any of them, let me know. Maybe we could work something out. You could be supporting my uh, plans to visit Spain. I also have a GoFundMe link as well if that might interest you, but let's look at the books. It's really only half a shelf, but it's some of my favorite books. We'll start with a movie. It's Tokyo Story by Yasujiro Uzo. It's a beautifully shot movie. The camera hardly moves from shot to shot. Ducks Newburyport by Lucy Ellman. And I had two copies of this. This is the original British copy. And when I was hearing about this book, and I was very intrigued, I found it difficult to find a copy in the States. So I ordered this um, from the UK, and it's Galley Beggar Press. And I just like the design of this one more than the one that finally came out in the States. Uh, and as far as the novel goes, I thought it was phenomenal. I loved how um, experimental and adventurous the writer Lucy Ellman was in creating this thing. It's just um, the thoughts of a woman in, I believe, Ohio, baking pies, and it has this like musical refrain that goes over and over and over again throughout the entire book, and it's a giant wall of text. The whole entire thing goes on for, what is it? Oh, close to 1,000 pages. We have a big Proust box set. It's the um, Remembrance of Things Past or In Search of Lost Time, and it's the Moncrief translation. And it's just beautiful. You can see that paper collar. Show the whole thing. This was In Search of Lost Time in 6 volumes by Moncrief. So we have Swan's Way, Within a Budding Grove, The Germantes Way, Sodom and Gomorrah, The Captain, The Captive, and The Fugitive, and Time Regained. And the, my possession of this is quite an interesting, well, not that interesting. Um, years ago, I was maybe in my early 20s. I had read maybe the first 3 volumes of Proust. Ben and I were visiting a friend of his, and we're in an apartment, and there's a roommate, and something comes up somehow. Maybe Ben mentions it, or something comes up um, that I've been reading these books, and I've been reading Proust, and the roommate of the friend that we were visiting uh, had this, and she was taking a college course on Proust. Somehow came to having this thing. So we're going back and forth. She has this in her bedroom, brings it out, and just gives it to me. Says she has no use for it. Never finished it. Took it for a class. Doesn't need it. I guess just didn't see any value in having it, and just said, "Do you want it?" It's like, yeah, yeah, I do. I want that. uh, these were I had read Swan's Way, Within a Budding Grove, and The Germantes Way. I went through the whole thing again, and I'm a big fan of the Moncrief translation. It's not like I'm an expert on these things, but um, it's just beautiful and evocative, and yeah, just big thing. God. I tried reading this. It's Joseph and His Brothers by Thomas Mann, translated by John E. Woods. Um, and by page count, this might be one of the longest novels I have. I couldn't finish it. It's close to 1,500 pages. It's onion skin, tiny print. Um, this was going to be a read along with myself and Alan Morton from the book Traveler, and I just had to give up. It was this is the kind of book that's a passion project. Thomas Mann really wanted to write this book, and in a lot of ways, it's the only thing that I've read by Thomas Mann that feels self-indulgent. The first time that um, I at least got the impression that he forgot that I was reading it. Some of his other books can be quite dense and difficult and long and all those things, but it always felt like Thomas Mann was like carrying me along. And this book, I just ended up being lost at sea. Now, uh, um, I still recognize its mastery and its genius and all of those things. Um, and maybe one day I'll get back to it. I really don't think so. Um, I had enough of it. Paintings in Proust, a visual companion to In Search of Lost Time, by Eric Carpelis. And I was so excited when I found this. It what it does is all of the references to artists and paintings in Proust's big work, it pulls out the excerpts and prints in color the images that are talked about in the book. And so I'll maybe show a few. Just so interesting. And it adds a whole other dimension to In Search of Lost Time, because the art within the book that's talked about is so expansive, vast, eccentric. It shows. So let me see if I can, because there's some. Oh, who's this? Yeah, that's Millet. So getting closer to more modern painting, but it's a lot of Renaissance work, Italian, French. Really cool book. And the last book is another copy of The Castle by Kafka, and I'm sure, again, this is... Oh, okay, this is translated by Mark Harmon. This is the other translation. As far as I know, I only have 2 different translations of this. But just a really nice big copy, sturdy, of The Castle. So I like having that. And then my bookend, we have Homer. So there's Homer. The rest of the shelf is where I plug my phone in. There. So that's that. Not many books, but some books that I really like, and that one. Let me know if you have any thoughts on any of these books, any opinions about the thoughts that I shared, anything like that. So thank you for watching, and Leave a comment if you would like, and take care.